you know.
The original FEMA estimates were performed in mid-February, just to kind of give you a time frame for good reference.
The contractor had opportunity to go look at all the trees.
Did you guys come up and look?
Actually, I drove around, and the only thing I was concerned with, I knew the numbers, I was concerned with how big the trees were, because that makes a huge difference in how long it takes to do a tree. If you got to go 70 feet in the air, or if, you know, the trees are smaller and you only have to go up 30 feet. And
so you spent a day up here, or what?
A couple hours I drove around. It's like I was going to say, I've been thinking the last 2 weeks of how I would go about this again if I was going to bid a job that had numbers like this. It would take, I think, seriously a week, and you would have to have your monitors with you to get an accurate number. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I had to go off them numbers because it would have took me a week to know exactly what there is here.
Well, okay, I guess what it's boiling down to for me is this. These other guys that came in here and bid, they had the opportunity to come look.
Yeah.
And I talked to a few of them, and they said they knew that there's going to be more than what FEMA had, and they allowed for that in their bid. Okay, they didn't get the bid.
Yeah.
So have you got a dollar, with that in mind, do you have a dollar figure that you're looking at?
I still don't know how many trees there are, I guess. You know, we're just, day by day, we just...
Because I feel kind of bad after we approved the lowest bid, which we had to take.
Mm-hmm.
And then to come back and go say, okay, now what about these other guys that did a more thorough job and knew it was going to be more extensive?
Do you think they could give you an accurate number, though?
I don't know. But if they bid more, and they said because we knew that there was going to be more there than what was than what FEMA had, and that's why they bid more. You know, so now we're sitting here to catch-22 place, or at least I am, going, okay, as a city council representative, we had to approve the low bid, and, you know, we were kind of shocked, I guess, at the discrepancies between some of these bids. And now, you know, this came up here, and I've just kind of now, is that A, fair to whoever bid and spent more time here and had more either experience or knew what they were going to do with that, or B, you know, so
I guess
as a city councilman, we have to, you know, we got to, okay, be able to look those guys in the eyes that go, oh yeah, by the way, too bad, so sad, you know.
Yeah, I guess I bid off the numbers.
I just wanted to throw that.
Yeah, I guess that's what I did.
Perspective off of that.
I bid it very cheapest I could bid off those numbers, and like I say, my drive mainly concerned me was there was supposed to be that amount of trees, and I just wanted to see how big they were. That was my big concern.
You know, I'd like to make the comment with regard to the scope of work, which is in part of the contract under 2.3. You know, it lists the amount of cubic yards and the number of hangars and so on. But further on down in that paragraph, the estimated amount of debris to be removed under this contract is not guaranteed. So to me, that indicates it's an estimate. You know, that there's no guarantees, and I'm kind of feeling along with Mr. Frohart too. You know, all the other contractors, you know, they perhaps took that into consideration. We don't know that.
Like I say, it'd be a weak job, and you'd have to have your monitor with you, because you couldn't just go out and assume what they were going to make you do.
And like I said, the estimates are almost off by half. And you need to understand, we're not trying to find any extra. We were trying to go from job to job. The FEMA monitor will not let us pass something that she considers a hazard. Gary, you know that?
Everything is documented, and it's all GPS. I thought when I came in they were going to say, okay, this tree to this tree to this tree to this tree.
And that's what Gary did start doing with us that first day. You did, didn't you? You said, come on. And we just followed Gary wherever it was.
And comment that what we should have done to begin with was mark those trees. So if this ever happens again, at least mark the curb with a special color, because then we know what trees to go to. Because we got, like they were saying, we had some blocks, there was nothing even marked, and there was 3 or 4 trees we had to do, and nothing on the other side. The maps were not correct. They weren't even, I would say close. But
well, I guess if I was going to bid it, I would go look myself and make my bid based on my estimates, not FEMA's.
Yeah, like I say, it'd be a week's job. I mean, Dean could probably verify that. It would take a week to go through here, and look at every tree and
I'd say that,
agree
yeah,
on
it would
everything?
take quite a while to go through, but the whole thing is, I think when FEMA comes through and does this estimate, you know, like you said, they should have been marking the trees that they were spotting. But even with that, with the wind and the snow and everything else we've had since then, some of that stuff could have come from other storms and other wind. So you really don't know when you get in there. FEMA's not going to let you go by and leave a 2-inch hanger on a tree that doesn't
Well,
have a
going
mark.
into the other storm and the wind, if you're the guy, and I'll be honest with you, we're all have sham doing something in our life. And if I'm sent up here to Sac City, Iowa, and FEMA sent me up here to do a tree count for Sac City, and how miserable the weather was back there. We were here January 3rd, and I mean, it was unbearable. I mean, our trucks gelled up and everything in Boone, Iowa. And if I'm out there, okay, yeah, there's none in that one, the obvious one. Exactly. They're going to take the obvious ones.
But you have no dollar figure here.
It just, FEMA's told me that we'd have to agree on a figure per tree for the extras. Because, like I say, I still don't know how many extra trees there are. FEMA still doesn't. The city doesn't.
Can I ask a question? I mean, this is more curiosity on my part. But if we have, say, 100 trees extra, and FEMA will pay, let's say they put a number of $30 a tree on there. That's $3,000. Now, whatever you do with this contract with these guys, we're not even talking about that. Will the city still receive the funds off the additional trees?
Definitely.
And FEMA, I did a little investigating, and this is not an uncommon thing that's happening on this storm.
See, my problem is not with FEMA and the contract. My problem is that we looked at all those contracts, and we took the lowest bidder.
Well,
So you don't even have an idea how much more you're talking about. But this guy here that say bid above you, assume that, hey, we know there's going to be more because they spent more time looking at it, and that's why we bid more money here. Then I have a problem with being, coming back in and going, oh, because you didn't, and they did, but we gave you the contract, and then all of a sudden,
I would like to hear their numbers. I don't think.
Could I make a suggestion? We don't have enough information at this point in time to really, can we table this and you give us an idea of how many other ones that would have to be removed?
Yeah, we can do that, but I know we had, 121 extra in the city? And I don't know how far you figure we are.
Well, I figured we could probably, if we don't get a whole lot extras, like maybe 2 per block, we could probably be done in a week.
Which could be presented at the next council meeting?
We'd have actual numbers to work from at that.
And that'd be a month from now?
No, it'd be
No,
2 weeks. The 24th.
The 4th Monday?
I'm at your mercy, I guess. Like I say, I just bid off the numbers, and because...
One other comment I'd like to make, could we check with FEMA on what their other experiences are in the same storm in the other surrounding
when I talked to...
see if they're off that much.
When I talked to them late last week, their comment to me, or mid last week, their comment to me is this isn't the first case, as Mr. Stoll has stated, this isn't the first case of them coming across this. They usually, FEMA makes a recommending of 1 of 2 types of contracts. And of course I'm only finding this out a little bit now, but I don't know that it would have changed our decision at the time. But they do a per tree contract and they do lump sum contracts. I think that pretty much every community in Sac County is doing a lump sum contract. However, I am aware Carroll did a per tree contract down there. But I will be happy to check back with them and see if they can give me an idea of if they can give me any specific details as far as the problems they're having.
Or if nothing else, just at the very least, a percentage of the number of communities involved. That if you can't give out specific communities, at least what percent are having the same.
I can get some greater detail.
Is that agreeable?
Yeah, whatever you guys think. And like I say, Gary would be a good guy to ask anything, being he was out there and he knows what we're up against. I mean,
Adam was out there.
Yeah, Adam too.
Bob was out there.
Dean.
Well, and even the cemetery, what did we determine? The count was probably 30 to 40 trees under at the cemetery, but it'd be hard to really judge because at the time we weren't collecting.
Yeah, I wasn't counting, and I really didn't want to know because I was scared to death, to be honest with you.
Okay. Is Is there any further discussion?